Welcome to Rewind the Podcast.
What up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Rewind the Podcast.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to our ASMR.
I have to just say, this feels so like the energy today is giving like relaxation.
Yes, we usually come in. We have like a song playing, and we're like energy. But like, first of all, there have been 18,000 tornado warnings in Nashville.
Yeah,
I literally went outside and said, "Don't be that girl.
I'm exhausted.
You're doing messy boots."
It's like because I'm a woman of a certain age.
Mm-hmm. And a year older because your birthday was last week.
Correct. One night of bad rest is like a snowball. And so now it is Sunday. We're filming this on Sunday. I literally woke up
Was it Wednesday night?
Was it Wednesday night? I completely crashed. Yeah, it was Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Because I completely crashed out at work on Thursday.
Yeah.
And acted like a psycho because I'm not me when I'm sleepy. And then literally today, slept all night last night.
Yeah.
Took a nap. Woke up at 4:15. I'm supposed to be here at 4:30.
I love it.
So here we are.
I got woken up by like 6 different people. They're like, wake up. There's a tornado warning. And I'm like, what? And it like, now granted, those are always very serious. They were all around us. But like I said, after the 5th or 6th one yesterday, I went outside and I was like, calm it down. I was like, do you want to be that girl? Because this is not how you're that girl. Like, get over it. Move on. We're not doing it. And now it's a little chilly today.
So much time in the closet in the last couple of
Have you? Do you want to tell us anything?
No.
Oh, okay. I was going to say. Okay. But we're here. We're safe. If you are in Nashville, we hope you are safe for the surrounding areas. But we've got a lot to talk about today. We always say that. But you know what? It's true because
it's true.
If anything's going to happen in America, it's going to be tariffs and topics. So let's break into it.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, yeah.
Tariffs and topics.
Tariffs and topics. Did you hear the iPhone might be $3,500 now?
I did hear that.
I told Apple, you can eat my ass.
And I need a new phone, like desperately need a new phone. I will get a Razor.
We need to get the Paris Hilton Razor.
I will get a Razor phone. I'm not joking.
No, the way I will switch to Google like that and not blink an eye.
Blink an eye.
No,
like no.
Make it in America.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's what they want. Anyways, you also had a producer, Gabe.
Hi.
Before we get going, and I'll let you take off the first topic.
Okay. Question.
Okay.
Have you ever had a friend? Y'all are gonna do a girls' night. The vibes are there. And then they ask if they can bring their boyfriend.
Okay, listen, you know exactly what I'm talking about in this moment right now. So we need to just cover up these cameras and just move on along.
No, I'm asking, has that ever happened to you?
Okay, without naming names, yes, it's happened a couple times. Actually, okay, it's happened over the years. As I get older, it gets more annoying. I will say that. In college, high school, you're like, oh, yeah, bring everybody. Like, I love a vibe. Now you're like, I don't get to see you once but every 17 months, and I don't want to hang out with Dawson. I'm not doing it. And so, yes, has that happened to you?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I will say this. Okay, so the group chat series has taken TikTok by storm.
Are you talking about the 2 girls? It starts like with her on the bed or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And it's Sydney Joe.
Yes, Sydney Joe.
Is the person who created this, and everyone's like waiting on bated breath. So the setup, first of all, I love a TikTok series.
A little skit or a series?
A skit.
Okay.
Like I love the ones that like it's like part 1206. This is what happened, part 1207.
Who did I marry?
Yes, they're so good. Okay. So the premise is it's a group of girls. They have a birthday dinner, I'm guessing, or a girls' night dinner planned. And it's showing the POV of all of the friends in the friend group. And one of the girls gets caught in a lie about inviting her boyfriend. So she like lies and says like, oh, well, when I made the reservation, I didn't know if he could come. But it turns out she had made it 2 weeks before and lied. So everyone's like about to like get into it at dinner. And everyone was waiting for was it 3 or part 4? I can't remember.
I don't know, but we talked about this last week. You're always waiting for that part, and it never comes.
And she did a teaser, like a trailer.
No.
And everyone was like waiting. Turns out the girl's boyfriend wasn't even invited. Did you see the most recent episode?
Mm-mm.
Look, episode.
Not episode. Hold on, before you finish, we wanted to talk about Summer House, White Lotus, Traders. This is what we're episodicing. This is our
episodic moment. Girl, turns out Justin, the boyfriend, is at the restaurant with another girl. This was all this ploy to like run into him. So the girls get to the restaurant and they're like,
so do they mount up and they're like, oh, now we're Charlie's Angels?
well, we don't know. It ends on like low-key a cliffhanger.
Is that where we're going now in the world? TikTok movies?
100%.
Well, then let's create something.
Oh, that we should.
This is the moment we should take our cameras and film our friends for a reality show and do something. Now, don't get me too hot because, I'll have y'all call times at 7 and you're like, we all have jobs.
True.
So do you want to do it or not?
I think we should.
Pray about it.
No, beach house.
Wait,
we talked
what?
about doing a beach house situation.
Ooh.
And we're going to like film confessionals on like what's been happening at the beach house.
Mm-hmm.
Because our friend owns a beach house.
Rich.
But yes, Charlie Puth is also a huge fan of the group chat.
Of course he is.
Everyone's been like freaking out. I'm excited for Sydney Joe. This is great for her. I will say I have one bone to pick with her.
I was going to say, give me 1 week. She's going to be signed to WME.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
She's doing that thing, and I love you, lady, where like she has a decent voice. So now she's like working in.
Is she like, what are the plans for the group chat? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like,
that.
girl.
Yeah. I did.
Well, she started, like, the last one, she was singing Cry Me a River. And I get it because his name's Justin.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, oh, that's funny. But I was like, girl.
You're like, now, why are we doing Monster by Lady Gaga?
So true. So
Yeah.
that's my only, like, very small note. But I'm
Don't sing unless we want it.
Yeah.
You bitch.
Yeah.
You are real big on, like, don't sing unless I ask you.
Yeah, because, like, why are we singing right now?
Because let's not get into this. Okay.
No, get into it.
Listen, I will say this. When I was in college, and they can both attest, I'd be singing. Mm-hmm. And I will do it, and I'm not like, when we're in the car, I'm not like, how bad do you want me? And I'm not like looking around for somebody to be like, she's really good. Like, it just comes out to the point where sometimes you will be a little ugly.
Well, I'm just like, shut up.
Well, you don't even say like, hey, like, I'm not like, can we just have a quiet right now? Like, it starts out like, man, I wish there would be silence in this car and some people would learn how to shut the up.
That's not true.
And I'm like,
that's not true. That's
and then
never happened.
And then I'll be like, and then I'll do it again. She's like, it's someone singing again.
It's not true.
That is so true.
That's
Gabe
not
can
true.
attest, Gabe. Don't you are over there always whistling Dixie. You either back me up or you don't.
Don't worry about it. But yeah, no, the constant noise, people who have to fill silence.
That is him. He can't love you. You cannot just have a quiet moment, a reprieve from society. It is a constant wicked.
But this is my thing.
Make that up.
My thing is like, I'm not doing it so somebody will give me attention.
No, it's just you just aren't comfortable and quiet.
I can be comfortable and quiet when I'm by myself or when I'm like with a trusted friend, which means if I'm always loud around you, but I'm quiet.
I don't believe that.
I think mine comes from excitement because when I'm excited to be around people, I'm just like, oh yeah, we're here. Like, let's get all the energy out now. So I don't know, but I'll do what I want. I'll sing what I want. I'll do what I want.
Yeah, it's just annoying.
Great, color me annoying.
Said, you know what has got us excited though?
What?
A little bulge, Australian bulge.
Oh, girl, have you seen these?
No, I don't even know who we're talking about.
Okay, so we're talking about Steve Irwin's son. What's his
the
name?
baby? He's a baby.
What is his name?
Bendy's brother.
Robert. Okay.
Bendy's brother.
Yes, Robert. Robert
you.
Irwin. I almost said Robert Kardashian. Nope. Robert Irwin.
Wait,
he
what?
is the internet is baby girling him right now. Yes. Okay.
No.
First things first.
He's a kid.
First things first, before we talk about this, he is 21 years old. So if you want to do your little keyboard warrior thing, go do it somewhere else because he is of age.
21.
He's 21. He can go to war. He can drink and buy cigarettes now in America.
I feel like he's forever 8.
No, that's weird because what I'm about to say, that's weird. So he...
But you know, like, we were introduced to him when he was a baby, like a newborn.
Okay, yes. People grow up.
Like an actual baby.
Okay, great.
Whoa.
Yes. So he...
Whoa.
Mhm.
Time Ow, hand it over.
Yeah, hand it over.
Wow.
So Robert,
he's so handsome.
So Robert recently
He looks like a big kid.
He does. So Robert recently did an ad for Bonds Australia.
Bonds.
And that is underwear. I guess maybe it's like their Skims. I don't really know. But they incorporated, I guess, his legacy. He's holding a snake. He's doing the Britney. He's got a little tarantula on his leg. He's holding like a giant lizard. Somebody tweeted, nobody's looking at that dog.
He looks gorgeous.
He looks gorgeous. He's ripped. I'm sorry, the package is packaging. Okay. And people are feeling some type of way.
Gorgeous.
I'm telling you. See, now, do you suddenly picture him as an 8-year-old?
I'm shocked.
I'm telling you what. Oh, love a black brief. He's got his little arm like this. He looks like Dylan Efron in the Traitors right there. I love it. So the internet is going crazy. Obviously, the gays are like, well, my new boyfriend. And it's like, you're 40.
Is he gay?
No, he's not. He's not dating anyone. Of course, all the gays are secretly, hoping. The other half of the internet is like, kind of like you were before you saw the photos. They're like, this is gross. He's 21. If you like him and you're over the age of 30, you're a pedophile. And I did not like that argument, even if they're trying to be funny, because there are real pedophiles out there. Check your local church.
No, I won't.
So,
not today.
Sorry.
Not today.
Sorry. But there are pedophiles out there, and they are really doing pedophile things. Somebody liking someone who is of age, who is very consensually doing that ad, you're going to be Googled.
Okay, I feel two ways.
Tell me the two ways.
I think pedophile is...
You're of two minds.
Okay. I think pedophile is not the right word.
No.
I think that that's inappropriate. He is of age. Am I myself uncomfortable with looking at him in that light? Yes.
I'm feeling something in the downstairs mix up.
No, I just think that because he is a kid and because I am legitimately 12, 13 years older than him, it feels something about it feels inappropriate.
If you feel like, oh, why do I feel this way?
No, it's like what? Like you're not old enough to be showing.
But he is.
But I'm not old enough to be looking at you in a sexual manner.
You are old enough. Are you saying you're too old?
That's what I mean.
Okay,
I'm too old.
I was like, you are old enough.
Because if a 21-year-old person in actual society came up to me and said words, I'd be like, who let you off the playground?
But this is going to beg another argument from me. He's 21 and everybody's like, stop doing that. Stop baby girling him. Why, on the other side, if we're going to flip it, the Olsen twins, Billie Eilish, turned 18 and people are on Pornhub looking up things. That's gross. And so I don't like the sexism of it all.
No, but I think that everyone thinks it's creepy when really old men date young women.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Well, yeah, everyone thinks it's creepy.
Everyone
and weird.
thinks it's creepy.
He also wears earphones to have sex with women, so I don't think he's like the poster child for cool.
Leo does?
Allegedly.
Go.
So many women over the years have had sex with him and said that he wears earphones and listens to music while he's having sex with them.
Why didn't he just put it in the room, the music in the room?
You know why? Because he's listening to something he's embarrassed by. He's doing like I Got Nerve by Hannah Montana.
It might have been bad, and that's okay.
He's getting a pump in, and they're like, what's he listening to, Usher? And it's like, you'll always find your way back home. And he's like, all right, was that good for you? She was like, no.
That's really, I've never heard that.
That's
Put in the comments if you've heard that. Allegedly.
Or if you've had, fornication with Leo. Did he wear the AirPods or did he wear the Air Maxes? That's the tea.
But I will say, I think it's weird that he's old enough to be viewed as like a sexual person. But he looks fantastic.
He does. And I hope you secured the bag, Robert.
Yeah, good job, Robert.
There's no
Wait,
promises.
let's talk about people in their underwear for 2 seconds.
Oh, God.
Do you know who I'm about to talk about right now?
No, wait, who? Wait.
Our friend.
Oh, no.
Max. Bitch.
Girl.
Oh, my God.
Now I got to keep it tight because I work with this person. I don't want HR violations.
I'll say it. Holy
His little skivvy.
Oh, I was like, wait. I was, casually scrolling
on the Instagram.
And I was like, I, again, should not be having these feelings. He looks...
ripped for the gods. Makes Hercules go, how do I look like that?
Like, and also the photos, very tasteful. But, like, gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Throw up a photo. If he approves it.
Also, follow him on Instagram, not just for like the thirst traps.
At Max T. Berry.
Yeah, not just for the thirst traps, but he also be like doing other stuff for real, for real. He does like cooking and
The most ripped person you ever met will make the most delicious sweet treats you've ever had. Seriously.
Yeah.
We
So
tell him he
amazing.
should start his own business, but he's busy doing other things. So
But yeah, I was like, again, like I should.
the one in the little panty
I
line.
was like, I know. I was like, I should not be looking at
I
this
know.
game. Have you seen them?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to Rewind After Dark, where we're going over all our sexual fantasies. Sweet Lord. Speaking of sexual fantasies,
What?
that was a great transition.
That was a
by
great
the way.
transition. What is it?
Dying for the sex.
Girl, no, we're talking about Jesse Solomon.
That was such a good transition. Damn.
Okay, so Summer House.
Yeah.
Per the comments, you guys love our Summer House
Yeah.
moment.
Someone get me a magazine because I'm about to check out.
No, you're not. Listen, because I listen to you. So
Apparently not enough because I sing and it's annoying.
So Jesse Solomon. So last week, Lexi was on vacation with her family and she was not in the house. Jesse Solomon took that as an opportunity to while out, low key. He was all over Sierra, even though now he's trying to pretend like it was a joke. He got his toe
Talk
sucked.
about traitors.
Dun, dun. He got his toe sucked in a foursome situation that also was a joke. So Lexi gets back.
I'm sorry. At what point is a foursome a joke? Like when you're inside them? We're just throwing out LOL. I don't know.
He said it was non-sexual.
Okay.
That the toe sucking was non-sexual. It was like almost like a prank. Like Emerald was like, suck his toe.
Okay.
So but he was in there for 37 minutes.
You know what? I can be messy boots like that though. One
Oh,
time,
no, 100%.
One time I had two friends at a party and I was like, oh my God, you should kiss me. And then I looked at the other one, I was like, you should kiss me. And I was like, okay, now you should kiss each other. And they did it. And then in my head I was like, so I mean.
Grow up. Okay.
No, it's fun. We're at a party. Let me live.
Yeah. Okay, back to Summer House. So, Lexi is a relationship sex girl. Okay? So she's made it very clear that she is only being intimate with someone that she is in a committed relationship with.
Okay.
Jesse is for the
A man.
streets.
Jesse's a man.
Jesse is for the streets. So because she's made this a boundary / proclamation, it feels like they fast tracked this relationship to get to the sex. Do you agree or disagree?
100%.
Okay.
So it's giving like Christians who get married after dating for 3 months.
Correct.
We want to have sex, and the sex is probably not going to be that lit.
So like my question I guess is like, is that the way to go or not?
What, to fast track it?
To like have that as a boundary.
Well, I'm sorry. It's a Sunday. It's a slow Sunday. Can you spell out the boundary?
So she's saying like,
Maybe
I
that's how
will
Jesse feels.
only have sex with you if we are exclusive.
Oh, that makes sense.
But they've only been exclusive for they became exclusive at 3 p.m. and they was by 8.
Okay, my thing is though, if that's going to be your rule and it's going to be exclusive, and then maybe I'm traveling ahead, like on Jesse's standpoint, then you're going to be exclusive. You don't get to go suck toes and fist your friend for fun. Like, we're not doing it. You're going to be exclusive. So if he was doing that just so he could eat her cookie, if you will, then that's on him. And Paige needs to, not Paige. Who?
Lexi.
I'm sorry. This is my first soiree. I've never seen an episode. She needs to walk.
Okay.
This is my thing. And I think it's more the horniness of it all. The first episode, he was saying he loved the woman. Remember, everyone was like, you just met this girl.
Yeah.
Then the one time she's out of the house, I think the veil lifted. And that's when he was like, oh, I f***ed up. Like,
But then he should have ended it then instead of overcommitting.
But once again, he's a man.
Because instead of coming back and being like, listen, we should like pump the brakes a little bit. Like, I don't know if exclusivity is for me. He like doubles down, sleeps with the girl. And now all of this is coming out after they've already slept together.
and everyone in the friend group knows but her.
But yeah.
Okay, but this is my thing. First of all, sounds like great TV. But my thing is once again, I'm going to go back to point one, Your Honor. He's a man. He's not going to say, I'm going to be emotionally mature and let this go. He said, I'm still going to eat the cookie, and then we're going to do that.
Listen, I just think that it's this is such an unpopular opinion. I don't know how to say this responsibly.
Say it. Just say it with both of your titties.
Being in an exclusive relationship does mean something.
Yeah.
Right? It is a verbal commitment, but people put a lot on exclusivity in a boyfriend-girlfriend situation.
Oh, I 100% agree with you.
Because I feel like, okay, so we're saying we're exclusive. That changes nothing.
No, it's like we're going to be exclusive. I'm not going to go see other people.
Like, you might as well have just him the first night.
T.
At this point, it's 3 weeks later. They've literally known each other for like 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's like you've built up this thing. It's like to make him wrong a little bit. It's like a way of protecting yourself to like, if you do me wrong, then like you're wrong because like I only sleep with like people in an exclusive relationship. When it's like you barely know this man.
Yeah, y'all are
regardless.
Yeah. I just think once again, this goes back to just the beginning of a relationship thing. Unless you know you want to be all in, don't go exclusive. I'm sorry.
But
I will go to coffee with 7 different people before I decide I like one of y'all.
But also, don't put that much pressure on yourself. Like, and that's my thing. Is she doing it so it makes her look better? Like, is this boundary so that other people will be like, oh, she's not a hoe?
Like optics kind of?
Yeah,
okay.
like, oh, well, we were exclusive, so I only sleep with people I'm exclusive with. But it's like, what is exclusivity in 3.5 weeks?
Because I do want to add, all of the people out there are giving Paige, Sierra, and Amanda for sort of sticking up with Jesse.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we've known this girl for 3, maybe 4 weeks. She wasn't even here one of the weeks. And like, if the roles were reversed, blah, blah, all of this stuff. And people are going in, especially on Sierra.
Oh, they're going in on the black girl.
I love you, girl. She's smart, beautiful, talented, like so well educated. And they're just like, Sierra's a pick-me, Sierra's this, this, and this. And I'm like, you all hate to see a black girl thrive and look good in it. Like...
But Paige DeSorbo, they're probably like, oh, it's still want to go to your concert. We love you so much.
They're going in on page 2. I think this is a difference between a girl in their 30s and girls in their 20s. I'm sorry.
Let's talk about it.
And I love my Gen Z girlies. I love y'all.
Y'all look so good in recycled fashion.
Y'all are, listen, I am here for you. Big Sis is here. But this is giving a girl in her 20s. Because like I said, what's the point? If you're going to fast track the relationship and to where you're exclusive so that you can sleep with him and then his feelings don't match the level of exclusivity that you required, you are setting yourself up for failure.
Okay, but again, I'm on 2 minds with that because if you're going to fast track it and you both agree to it, then you both need to abide by it. But it doesn't sound like... It sounds like she, from what I'm getting, she had all of this in her mind and never communicated it.
No, she communicated.
And he agreed to it.
And he agreed.
Well, then don't suck toes. I mean,
but
that's just
also
like...
unreasonable to...
But the thing is he said...
That's true.
He said when they agreed, this is reasonable, and he didn't stick to it.
But no, they never said we're not allowed to suck toes.
Okay. But is it a given? Do we need clear boundaries? Do we need to sign contracts?
I just feel like...
You can eat my ass, but you can't suck toes.
This is different than Wes and Sierra. And I think people are trying to make it the same, and it's not the same. The difference is they spent the summer together building in the fall, building a relationship, building a friendship, something that actually had a real foundation of trust. These people just met.
But this is my thing. I'm going to say it like I say to the Christian couples who get married after 2 weeks, and then they pray together once, and they're like, yeah, we're going to have sex, let's get married. You're in it now. And they're in it more cemented.
And that's why I feel like you're not in it now.
So, but then you have to be honest about that. So, Jesse, you got to be like, hey, I just wanted the cootie cat.
Yeah, and that's really, but then you look like a fucking ass.
But then you got to sit in that.
You really do.
You got to get comfortable.
But also, it's like, the reason, I'm not defending him, but the reason I see where he's coming from is like, I've known you for 3 weeks. Like, my brain hasn't, as a person who, like, cannot commit to people that quickly like that, my brain has not gotten to that level of loyalty to you.
She's still 50-50 on me. And we got a whole business together.
25. Like, my brain hasn't gotten there. I'm liable to forget I got a boyfriend. Shit.
Yeah.
I also think it has a lot to do with, and I've heard this comment about Paige and Sierra, and then the age gap as well. They very much have decentered men from their life. And you can tell in the comments the women
that have not.
Y'all aren't giving girls girl.
And that's okay.
It's giving misogyny. It's giving I love men. It's giving Homestead. It's giving tariffs.
Wait, what?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. Now I'm just looking for a reason to argue.
I know, but I just think that, like, at some point when you're in your 30s, like, the rules of your 20s look silly.
Yeah.
And that rule that Lexi has made for herself, I see what she was trying to do. And I see it as a way for her to protect herself. But girl, the older you get, the more you realize these men
are men.
I
will say one
more thing.
more
It's a lot
thing.
of debris and trash.
We can move on.
But yeah.
Summer House sounds fun. Maybe I should watch. I wish there wasn't 9 seasons to get ahead on. Are they 30 minutes a piece?
No, they're long.
Oh God.
They're an hour. I'm on season 3. I'm caught up, but
you can put them on and
you can just like, yeah, but I'm caught up. I mean, I'm not caught up, but I'm watching the current season simultaneously watching past seasons.
But start at season 3. Season 1 and 2.
Season 1 and 2. Snooze fest.
They're just out there enjoying their summer. I do like a good reality show. I will say, having worked in production stuff now, sometimes it is hard to lift reality. But like Traders and things like that, if it's like a good reality show,
this isn't reality in that way.
It's just like we're getting drunk and
this isn't Housewives. This isn't like super produced.
Well, then I might really like it.
Yeah, this is like literally friend group stuff.
Okay.
Like these people have real relationships.
Tea.
And have like the way you get in is you have to know have a connection with somebody. Cause like, did Lexi know Amanda? Which seems so odd.
Well, maybe I'll give it a shot. I don't know.
Okay.
But sounds interesting, sounds juicy. Jesse, you're a horrible person.
Also, do you know Jesse Solomon's a singer?
I heard his song.
I'm obsessed.
Now you want to hear people sing.
He's hot. I'm sorry, I will give Jesse Solomon that. I used to not think that he was that hot, but he's so funny.
See,
You're a West girl.
But Westy,
He's so cute too.
So
West is like
he's got swagger.
Tuscaloosa.
God, we should
cute.
just call this the Summer House recap show.
Jealous. Jesse Solomon's so hot. He's so funny. Okay, go ahead.
So am I, and you don't want to date me.
Okay.
All right.
Moving on along.
Moving on along.
Oh,
Speaking of a summer house, you know what's even scarier? A woman.
Y'all. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Spoiled.
We went and saw A Woman in the Yard. We cannot talk about this without spoiling the ending. It's like not possible. So if you are like dead set on seeing this,
we have time codes below, so click to the next
skip
thing.
It until after you've seen it, and then we'll go from there. But like, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. We go F up the ending for you if you don't want to know.
Like milk, eggs, and cottage cheese. Spoiled.
Okay.
Let's start.
Let's start with the fact that not me thinking I'm going to like a spooky, scary kind of situation.
Like dun dun
and end up in there crying.
Oh. Both of us, we ended that like wiping tears as it ended.
Literally crying.
Yes. Okay. Gabe, can you give us the synopsis?
A mysterious woman repeatedly appears in a family's front yard, often delivering chilling warnings and unsettling messages, leaving them to question her identity, motives, and the potential danger she poses.
Thank you. So initially, when we first see the woman in the yard, my first thought was, damn, she kind of looked like the mom.
She does, yeah, because it's very thinly, she's got a black veil on, and so you can just very like thinly see her eyes and her face, and you're like, okay, what's going on? The whole premise, like he was saying too, like her husband's passed away, so they have this farm, and they're trying to figure out how to do it. There's no electricity, that kind of thing.
She's obviously deep in grief.
Deep.
She hasn't paid the bills. Her children are kind of having to fend for themselves.
Making Dorito eggs. That part stuck out with me too.
Yeah, it's obviously a dark time for her. They've just lost their father. She's just lost their husband. They're trying to figure out
their new normal. Yeah.
And this woman shows up in the yard. The son. Although I understood where he was coming from, I was like, you ain't so bad.
He's trying to do man of the house, and it's like, Mary, this is not the time or place.
Not the time. The poor little girl could not get her R's right. We were going through.
She would do her R's backwards. Yeah, and then the mom like lost it on her.
Correct. So we get to the ending.
Yes.
There's a lot of just us trying to escape, trying to figure out who this woman is, what she's doing there, all of the things.
They like go out and confront her. She, like you said, she kind of speaks in riddles and rhymes. At one point, she like shows her hands and there's blood, and they have like chickens, and the chickens are randomly dead. And you're like, what's happening? Like, it seems like maybe everything she touches is dying. Today's the day, yes. And she was not talking about Disney.
So we get to the end where this woman is in the house. And we're starting to kind of figure out who she is and her purpose, right?
Yeah. Last chance. Spoiler alert.
So they're in the bedroom. She sends the kids downstairs. And they're having this dialogue. And she's like, you asked me to come here. Like, you called me here. And so we're like, is she... My initial thought was like, is this like the angel of death?
Yeah.
But then I talked myself out of it because I'm like, no, because she's too scary.
Yeah.
Like, she's too scary to be what that, like, is. So that can't be it.
Well, did you see Nosferatu? Because, you know, at the beginning, she calls out for somebody to, like, come help her. But it's, like, the devil, demon guy Nosferatu. So in my head, I was like, so is this, like, a demon? Like, did she call out to the wrong thing?
Yeah. So then they're continuing this dialogue. And she's like, obviously, this is, like... She understands the dialogue better than we do the audience.
Yeah, we do.
She realizes who she's talking to before I think we realize who she's talking to.
Yeah, I agree with you. And before you keep going, I do want to say, because we are spoiling this, I do want to put just like a trigger warning here.
Yeah.
If you've had to deal with like death, grief, suicide, self-harm, anything like that, again, we have the time codes below. Skip. We care and we are warning you, so.
Please skip.
Yeah.
Because a part of me probably would have skipped had I known what this movie was about if I'm keeping it a buck.
That part.
So she's like, what about my children? Like, I know, like I can't leave them, basically. And this woman takes a lighter and puts it over the photos.
It's like a photo wall of like the family. Yeah.
And it's like... the kids like graduating and getting married, and you see how happy.
And that's where I started to cry.
Me too. And that's when I was like, oh.
But I also said you find out that she was the one that actually killed her husband.
Correct.
She was driving the car and they got in a car
she didn't
wreck.
kill her husband. They got in an accident.
Yeah. I think it's important that Gabe says that because you start to, that's where the puzzle starts to kind of come together, where you're seeing like, she's not happy with her life, even when it was going well, if you would see.
Yeah. She was already depressed.
Yeah.
Prior to this huge event that has brought on all of this grief, because they're at dinner, we're doing in a flashback, and she's telling him, I'm not happy. I don't want to live here anymore. I need to be alone. I'm going to basically need to get away from you and the kids.
Yeah.
They get into this accident. He dies. And now she's essentially trapped in this life that she didn't really want.
Yeah.
So depression was already present, which is why I think we could see her in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
During the accident. And then on top of that comes the grief.
Yeah.
So we're in this dialogue. We're seeing the kids, like, life without her. And she basically calls her bluff and is like, there's a reason why you got rid of all of the ammunition except for one. Like, you've been basically planning this. You've been planning to take your own life. And she's like, it's time to do this.
Yeah.
And is basically coaxing this woman into ending her own life.
And I feel like it's safe to say at this point, we realize it is like her inner, for lack of a better term, her inner demons, her inner depression. And this is where it got real.
This is where I was in there crying.
Because it went from this scary movie to like, it almost, like, in the room, it almost felt like the energy of, like, this is maybe really how it goes when someone's going through this. I'm not saying, like, a person shows up in a black veil, but it's just, like, this darkness is just there moving them.
As a person who has been depressed, not into that deep of a depression, I was talking to my mom about this. The voice that I heard was not my voice. It wasn't necessarily me, but it felt like an extension of me, but it also felt very real. And that's one thing about this film that I was really impressed with, is it did give a actual physical, visual representation of what that feels like. Like the lack of control of it and feeling like you, like, so influenced by it. I thought that they did that part.
And kind of this like shadow over you. I loved like
Yeah.
And then the part where I just was through was the hand over hand on the gun,
guiding her to take her life.
Yes. And yeah.
I don't want to get demonetized.
No, child, we is not trying to get demonetized. And that's when I was in there crying for real.
Yeah. I know friends who've dealt deeply with depression to the point where they said they hear a voice like that and it scares them. It's like, it is like so audibly anti anything you are. And so, like you said, I was done for. I started crying. I was just like,
keep in mind, this is my actual birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
And I'm like, oh, this is going to be giggles and like,
because what was the last one we saw? Like heart eyes?
Yeah.
Like absolutely, like almost slapstick.
Seriously. So we're like expecting like giggles, like funny. Ain't funny. We in a crying, actual real tears.
We go to the cocktail place after. We're like, that movie. Like we were trying to get out of the garage, and Raven was like, I feel like we've been in here forever. And I was like, I feel like we're just in a weird headspace right now.
I was in such a weird headspace.
Yeah.
So this is where the controversialness of it comes in.
Yeah.
So the ending. She's literally in the act of ending her life.
Yes.
You can hear the kids. She sends the kids away. You can hear them come back. The dark figure disappears. The lights come on. The power is restored. The farm that has had no name throughout the entire film is now named. And we are moving into what seems like a brighter, happier ending.
Yeah.
Until we start talking to other people. And these people think that she actually ended her life.
Yeah.
And we have one of those people here.
Yes.
And so we're going to have this conversation of like what we think has happened and why.
And I want to paint just a little more of the picture too. So you see the hands grab and it pans out. And me and Raven were expecting to hear
a gunshot.
We did, again, trigger warning. But then all this happens. What I think has set your mind off of is the R. It pans at the very last shot. It pans to her signed R, but the R is backwards.
The whole thing is backwards. It's not just the R.
Oh, it's not?
Because you're looking at it through a mirror.
Oh. I didn't even pick that up the first time. I just saw the R.
So this is my thing, and I do agree with you. If it is this way, I don't think it necessarily is like paints a good picture, but the lights come on, which during the whole movie, she never was able to make a call. She never was able to pay the bill. There's a sign now on the farm where they did not ever have a sign before. Also, Blumhouse, like the company that made the movie, they are like known for scary movies. They did Insidious, Conjuring, all of that stuff. A big thing for them is a red door leads to the other side. They're walking up to the porch and it's a red door that they open and they go through. I think she took her life.
And see, I'm going to agree with you. If that's the case, like that movie. Because all we're doing is glorifying it. We might as well get, what's her name, Hannah Baker out there to cut herself in the bathtub again.
That's how I feel. And I think that's why they did it in the way that they did it. And it is wildly irresponsible, and I want to be very clear.
Very.
That they are glorifying, or even the perception that once you've committed this like horrible act against yourself, that things magically get better.
Yeah. The lights come on, the family's together, we have a name on the farm. When in reality, that is the farthest
thing from what happens after someone takes their own life.
Yeah.
From the perspective of the people who still here.
Yes. Now I want to go with what I walked away with was they pan out. You don't hear a gunshot, and her kids come back. the lights do come on and all those kind of things, but they say, what happened to that lady? And she says she's gone she's gone
for now.
For now. And they said, will she be back? And she says, when she is, we will be ready. And I feel like that takes the angle to, at the last second, she did not do it. And this is the way of fighting. And I think it's a bigger tell of, there are people who deal with this, and sometimes it is a horrible season, or they're not on meds, or their meds aren't right, or things like that, or they need therapy, and they get better, but that does not mean it is over. It means it is an ongoing battle, and I think that speaks to the greater good of it. But again, Gabe, I think your view is very astute, but if that is actually what we're supposed to take from it, this movie.
I think to me, when I saw it, I didn't think of like, oh, this is glorifying her committing suicide. To me, I was like, this woman was at her last point and she could not handle it anymore. And not that this was like a better option, but like she was at peace with her decision.
That don't feel good to me.
That don't feel good to me. And here's the thing, like...
But I want to say this. Some people, to them, that is their only option. They feel like they have. Whether we agree with it or not, like some people cannot handle the world anymore and they take their own life and they feel like that is their best decision. And so I feel like in that instance, to her, that was her best option. And that sounds so bad.
I mean, it sounds bad, but I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, like, and I'm going to pull back from just the movie aspect of this. Of all the movies you can make in Hollywood, one that is like, yeah, this is how it feels. I just don't like that. Especially at the end of it too, you have campaigns where it's like, call somebody, like you don't have to deal with this. And that's maybe another reason I think it ended my way, my perception of it, is because you can't do all this call the hotline things and then be like, well, here's a movie for your entertainment about it's probably peaceful after it happens. And I know this is a very deep subject. We got real deep on the pod today. But
it doesn't feel right. I will say there are a few things that like stick out to me was that these were Black people.
Okay.
And when you're talking about mental health and Black people, I think that changes the conversation a little bit. I also wanted to talk about the fact that, like, in our community, like, naming a thing is very important. Like, and I don't know if that's scriptural or just cultural, but, like, once you give it a name, it loses its power kind of thing. And that, to me, symbolically was what the farm name was. It's like, and her being able to name who the lady was and what was actually happening helped that thing lose its power, and for her to be able to overcome and be in a place to name the farm and give things like their proper placement.
Yeah.
And then obviously I thought the lights coming on was symbolism of like brighter times ahead, not necessarily.
She paid the bill.
She paid the bill.
I'll give you that one. Maybe it was her regaining her power.
That part. All in all, what's funny is this movie did not have very good reviews.
Which is insane because I thought it was a great movie.
Literally.
I thought
But y'all will go watch Amelia Perez.
The acting was superb.
Yeah.
I thought from a deeper, like the actual twist of it, amazing. The deeper concept, amazing. And although I don't agree, I don't like the feeling of the alternate endings and what they could possibly mean. I do think it makes it a more powerful conversation.
Yeah.
And like a more powerful piece of art.
Yeah, I agree.
From like an artistic perspective.
I do agree. Well, we highly recommend it. If you can handle those kind of topics, or if that is something you're comfortable with watching, definitely go see it. I think it's a great movie. I would assume you all agree.
Yeah.
And let us know what you think in the comments. And if any of this has resounded with you, please let us know. And if we are wrong on maybe some of the ways we think about this, we are also open to hearing about that as well. Now, if you need help, I would just say, if we're talking about this, let's just throw it up.
Yeah.
It's right there. And if you need help, you should never be afraid to ask for help. And this is your sign. if you're looking for one to get help. So with that being said, let's go to the other show that you've been watching and that you've been dying, wink, wink, to talk about.
Y'all, again, in there crying. Okay, Dying for Sex premiered on April 4th on Hulu. It's an FX show, but I think they're streaming it on Hulu.
Yeah, FX, Hulu, Disney Plus, apparently. There were some moms who had something to say about that, but I'll let you go first. Yeah.
Okay, so I heard about this 4 years ago.
You said it was a podcast, right?
Yeah, years and years ago. Yeah. Through Miss Kev on Stage, Melissa Fredericks had listened to the podcast and was telling, her audience about it. And I listened to it and was immediately hooked. The podcast was two young women. One was terminally ill and her friend. And she, comes to this like almost bucket list situation where she wants to have this like sexual awakening and experience all of these new things. And they talk about it and document it. And throughout, you can actively hear her, getting sicker, and she eventually passes away. So that's like in the first 5 minutes, you realize that this woman is terminally ill.
Of the podcast and the show.
Of both, correct. Yeah. So it came out. Michelle Williams.
The white one.
Jenny Slate. There were some great cameos from some people that we were like, oh my gosh, it's so-and-so. Overall, from a person who listened to the podcast, I thought they did a fantastic job.
I was going to say, first things first, like when people read a book and then they see a movie and they're like, it's not the same, or it is. Do you think they stuck pretty like nail to the story?
Yes.
Okay.
There was like certain parts where you're like, oh, I really hope they talk about this, or I really like hope that they like do it that way.
Yeah.
And all of those parts were there.
Yeah.
And I think the last episode where she's transitioning.
Spoiler alert.
I mean,
is it content heavy? Because we know she passes.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Spoiled.
The last episode where she's transitioning, I thought also was done really beautifully. There's like, when you're talking about the relationships that she like actively built through the time where she knew that she was going to die. Like, I feel like it just wrapped it up really nicely. We was in there crying.
Yeah. I had to work. So I will say Raven, she had a little pajama party for her birthday that was a little lighter than the woman in the yard. I missed it though because I was working, and I texted her and I was like, hey, like, what are y'all doing? You playing cards? Y'all drinking? And she's like, we're watching Dying for Sex.
And we're crying.
And we're on episode 5 of 8 or something like that. And I didn't get to come. So I've only gotten to see episode 1.
Okay. Tell me your thoughts.
So honestly, at first, I didn't know if I wanted to watch it. And this is just from my heart to y'all's, and but y'all already know this about me. I don't really like dark stuff. I don't like stuff that really deals with death a lot. I hope it's not avoidance. I'm like, that's not what I want to give my time to. There's enough of that going on in the world. I'd rather watch something happy, anything like that. But I watched it because I was like, we got to watch it for the pod, and I'm at least going to watch one episode so I don't sit here and yes and with you, and then you get mad at me when I haven't seen a single episode. But it was a good blend of funny and like the forelooming of sadness, but also just like real life in a way that just I haven't seen presented on TV before. I love a good podcast, so I'm interested to see where it goes. So I have questions from my point of view, because at the end of the first episode, spoiler, she leaves her husband, and she tells her friend, like, I want to die with you. Jenny Slate was hilarious. She was making me crack.
Hilarious. She is so freaking funny.
Yes, and I'm glad she's getting her flowers now because it got overshadowed and it ends with us.
Yeah.
Because we were worried about somebody else.
Yeah.
But I loved at the beginning when she was like, you can tell me anything. You can tell me anything. After she tells her she's terminal, she's like, I really want to have sex. She's like, I didn't think that's what you were going to say. I was like, that feels like something we would like.
It was the friendship. Their chemistry is so good. And it's that thing of like, I hate to go here, but like if, God forbid, one of us was in that similar situation, there is still joy. There is still laughter. Like there is still all of like the dynamics don't change just because someone's transitioning and about to go on.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a really good job of making it like watching them navigate it felt so relatable.
Yeah.
I will say is like if you are someone who is scared of death, like as a nurse, I thought this did a really good job at being real, but also like showing the beauty of like people do pass and that is a part of life, and like it can be scary, but like the process of it. And like the nurse, there's a nurse in there, Amy, starts off a little rough, but it like, I don't know, that was just the last episode was a very beautiful moment of the process of death and like what people expect.
Well, and you said something, Gabe, too, while we were getting ready to film the pod, that maybe you can attest to as well. As he said, this show also painted a really good picture of how many people make, like if, for instance, you were the one terminal.
Why it had to be me?
Okay, this iPod was the one terminal. How much the people around them make it about them. Yeah. And I'm interested to see where that goes, because my second question is, do we see this husband again? Because I feel like he might come squirming back in there, but I don't know.
You'll see.
I'll see, and I do want to watch it. So
it is, but what a great love letter to her friend.
Yeah.
Nikki doing that for Molly. Like, that is just sharing her story with the world. I think she was nominated for 3. I don't know if she won 3 Emmys or was nominated for 3 for the podcast, but just like, and also the overarching theme that your friends can be your soulmates, I think is really, really sweet. So I would 100% recommend it. I thought it was great.
What you just said, do you believe soulmates are always lovers?
No.
Care to expand on that?
Lovers in the sense of like...
Have sex?
Like have sex, they're in a relationship, husband, wife, parents, that kind of thing.
No. And I also think that your soul is capable of being connected to multiple people.
Okay. Do you care to expand on that? Because I will say this while you're gathering your thoughts, because you suddenly don't have a lot to say. But I feel like soulmates, people always want to put it with like a romantic endeavor. And when you say even connected to multiple people,
I think it's because people are so brainwashed into thinking that romantic relationships are the only important relationships.
That's the tea.
And I think that we live in a world that focuses so heavily on romantic relationships that you lose the value of friendship in other capacity. And I think that's why people think that, but I don't believe that to be true. And I also think that there are different sides of everybody. Like the reason, listen, we have a fairly large friend group here.
We do.
In Nashville, and we're all really different. But there are parts of our personalities that are highlighted with certain people. Like Anthony and I are really silly. Like we tend to like giggle a little bit more and like talk in weird voices and act like weirdos, right? Where like you and I, our relationship has evolved into like a kiki relationship for sure. But like I don't gossip with Anthony. Like Gabe and I goss all day. You and I think are more aligned on like what we're into, like our interests. Kelsey and I don't know why we're friends.
Y'all are like sisters.
We are.
Fighting over the curling iron.
It literally is. So like everyone, has a different, like brings out different parts of our personalities.
Well, I also think too, even with our friend group specifically, like, okay, to go back to the Ariana Grande song that I love, Warm, where she's like, because I'm cool on my own, but it's warmer in your arms. There's a TikTok trend around it now where on my feed, it's a bunch of gay people showing their twin, and they're like, that's my boyfriend. I'm like, girl, whatever. Who cares? You're in love. But then people started to, that sounded jaded, but
It really did.
But it also started to see, I started to see people doing it with their friends. And I almost wanted to do one with y'all because I was like, sometimes people are like, why aren't you in a relationship? And I'm like, I'm happy with.
I am in a lot of relationships.
Yeah, and I'm like, and
I'm
I
just
love
not sleeping with anybody.
Yeah, well,
some of us.
I got something to tell you. No, I'm just kidding.
I also think it because we have decentered our life around the idea of love and to be happy in life that we have to have a person. Now Kelsey has a boyfriend, but everyone in our friend group, Raven's handlers, well, I guess Anna Catherine too. Well, anyways, a lot of our friends are not in relationships and we're in our early mid 30s. And like, that is not the center, our North Star of like, I have to find someone. Like, we live our lives and we are each other's people. And like, I think that is our love and we're okay with that. And if something comes along, great. But like,
And I also think that romantic relationships isn't going to change that. I mean, even right now with like Kelsey and Chris, like they're, and I say all their business, but like they're in a really good place. But like we still, like it's adding, it's not subtracting.
Yeah.
And like he's one boyfriend to where if he does pop up, it's like,
hello.
Hey!
Yeah.
It's so good to see you. And it's not that like, it doesn't feel like we're losing her. It feels like we're gaining another friend.
Yeah.
And I think when you decenter romantic relationships, it feels like an addition.
Yeah.
And not a subtraction.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll get around to that. Well, I feel like we've been talking as long as Cory Booker. We are filibustering up in here.
Y'all, this filibuster, okay. As a scandal girly.
You love scandal.
The only filibuster I've ever actually seen was Millie Grant. Scandal?
Wait, what about that girl a couple years ago in Texas, Wendy with the pink sneakers, talking about abortion?
She filibustered?
She filibustered for like 13 hours in sneakers, and they were like, sneakers. Like, she got a deal.
That. Okay. Oh, good for her.
She was in her little pink Skechers.
Well, Cory Booker,
okay,
who I love, and I've always loved Cory Booker.
Yes.
Did a 25-hour filibuster. Girl, I'm sick of scandal being real life. Let's start there.
Yeah, that and Parks and Recreation and the United States government.
I'm over it. The fact that he had to do it is ridiculous. I am very proud of him. How he didn't TT a poo-poo in his pants.
How do we know? He could have been wearing adult pull-ups.
He said that he knew that he was going to do this. And so basically he got his body into a sense of dehydration prior to the event. Thank God he didn't fall out up there. And Cory, we should not live in a country where Cory has to risk his own personal health for people to listen.
That part. Can I sound like an uneducated American real quick?
Sure.
What was he talking about?
Life.
Life, yeah. He was like, so here's what happened on Summer House.
That would be our filibuster. For the next 25 hours, we're going to break down the breakup of Paige DeSorbo.
Should Wes and Lisa be together?
Lisa.
I don't know.
But yeah, he talked about like the current climate of our government.
Oh, that can go on for 25 hours.
100%.
For sure. And then after it happened, the tariff thing happened pretty quick after.
Y'all, these tariffs.
Tariffs.
First of all, not to be the I told you so police.
Go ahead. Kamala's the sheriff and part of that. Did you see that video? I didn't want to say I told you so. I didn't want to say it.
We all knew that this was coming, but now the hens are coming to roost. The roosters are coming to roost.
The hibachi's on the grill.
The hibachi is on the motherfucking grill, and these tariffs are about to tear us to shreds.
I like that.
Seriously, because the car people are like, y'all, we got to let people go. The car is going to be $90 million. The phone people saying, y'all, we got to let people go. The phone's going to be $9 million.
The Nintendo DS 2, or not Nintendo DS, the Nintendo Switch 2. Did you hear about that? They announced pre-orders, and they said it was going to go on sale in June. And then they said the tariffs have hit. We're actually going to hold off on the pre-order date because we need to see how much this is going to cost you now.
It was already $500 to begin with.
Exactly. People were talking about that, and they were like, well, it may be more now. And now people are saying that the anime kids are going to do something about it, air quotes, and I'm going to leave it at that.
No! Anime kids, calm y'all little asses down. Hold on.
Don't be the woman in the yard.
Don't. Calm down. Everybody relax.
Yes. You voted for this.
Yeah. Not
You
the
went
anime
in there-
kids in particular. We
Yeah, I
are
don't know.
pro-anime.
We love a good manga.
I don't know one thing about anime.
I don't either. You know who we should ask? Megan Thee Stallion. She loves anime.
You know, I like some of the content creators that I really enjoy are also anime people, and they be talking about it, and I'd be like, I don't want to be sad.
Yeah. Well, some of them, it can be, I like the comedy ones. Like, I used to watch, like, Sailor Moon. I think that's anime. I don't know.
No, there are ones that are sad.
There are also ones that are...
But the popular ones are the ones that everyone's, like, sad about.
There's also ones that are very horny.
I know.
That one's wild. But he got up there and he talked about it, and then pretty soon the Dow is down. People are saying they're predicting a recession this year.
Y'all check on your 401k.
That you know something about that. I will say this. I was talking to somebody who had voted for Donald Trump, and they were like, "No, this is all part." And I was like, "Oh,
This is all part of the plan.
he's gonna get it down so we can do the only thing. The only thing I've seen that man push is that $5 million immigration card, acting like we're doing Wonka's golden ticket. This is not a chocolate factory right now. I don't think I'd want a tour. I'm happy to live here, and we do still have a lot more freedoms than other countries, and I'm aware of that, but it seems like they are getting stripped pretty quick.
I'm gathering.
You better gather, girl.
We get what we deserve.
Why do we? We didn't vote
because
for him.
we're all in this together, and that's been my stance.
This is not the time to quote High School Musical.
It's gonna be my stance. Whatever happens, and it is what it is. And I can't worry myself on it because I did what I was supposed to do.
We did what we were supposed to do, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to plan a couple vacations or something, I don't know, before the tariffs. I do love all the tweets that Mama the tariffs.
I can't come because of the tariffs.
Yeah, and it's like, work? And you're like, yeah, I can't.
Yeah, I can't. Sorry, busy.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see.
Anything on your For You page right now that...
Honestly, no. I'm just now starting to see where people are like, apparently there was another TikTok ban that got extended again. And I was like, girl, whatever.
My TikTok, I've been watching The Summer I Turned Pretty in clips as if I've never seen the show.
Oh, it's coming back this summer.
It's coming back this summer. I've like changed. I was Team Jeremiah before.
Who's the other one, Noah?
Conrad.
Oh, okay.
And now that I'm like rewatching clip to clip,
yeah,
I'm kind of leaning toward Conrad a little bit more.
Really? Is he the big blue-eyed one?
No, that's Jeremiah.
Okay, he's the bisexual.
Jeremiah's the bisexual one.
Okay, yeah.
Conrad is the
Was he the one in Mean Girls?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And he's so much more handsome in The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Yeah, in Mean Girls, I was like, okay.
His lips, his face, he is gorgeous on the show. And I don't know if it's how they shot him or what. He is gorgeous. They all are. Lolo's gorgeous. The boy who plays Steven is gorgeous. Everyone's gorgeous on this show. But I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, am I like tripping?
Maybe.
So I might need to like rewatch it for real.
Maybe. I don't know if there's... Oh, wait a fucking minute. I'll tell you what's been on my For You page this week.
No.
The Wicked for Good trailer that none of us have gotten to see.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen the breakdown?
No.
Oh, my God. First of all, Wicked, call us hi. We literally... Look at the table. We love you, okay?
This is me.
And this is my man. But all I'm going to say is...
I'm the brown one.
There's no brown one. There's a green one.
Yeah, I'm the brown lady.
Okay.
I'm Elphaba.
You're not. I love you so much. You're not Elphaba. You are... Anyways. All of this to say...
The white lady.
They said the trailer starts with... them together, and she's like,
it well maybe.
No, not yet. Oh. She's like, Elphaba Throp, come out here before the monkeys see you. Spoiler alert, but it's a 20-year-old play. She's like, come out before the monkeys see you, and then it like does a montage of like, I guess.
How do
like,
you know if we haven't seen it?
Because people in direct detail told us what it was from Comic Con or Cinema Con, whatever it was.
Why did they just release it?
Because you know what they're doing? They're edging us. And as soon as they do, the way we will all call out of work and come here and react to it for you, you can count on that, right?
Everybody stop what you're doing.
Literally.
Meet at the studio. We're filming a reaction.
And I will say the only big things, they said you get a clip of No Good Deed.
Okay.
You get a clip of them harmonizing 2 for Good. And you get a clip of Fiyero turning the gun on the wizard. So they are ready to tell some tea for Wicked Part 2.
I can't wait to get invited to go and watch this.
Same.
For the premiere.
Our invitation, I think it's in the mail. We're waiting on it. So that was the only other thing I really saw. And I hate to say it, I got Lady Gaga tickets.
Oh, good for you.
I did get Lady Gaga tickets. Are you going to go at all?
I want to, but I'm not committed.
You said this was going to be like your year of trips.
Yeah, but I'm also tired.
Fair.
And like, I probably will end up going.
You got Sabrina tickets the day of. Look at God.
So like, I feel like I can see myself there. I just don't really know how I'm going to get there, but we'll see.
Well, what if I told you I had a birthday present for you? Do you remember earlier this week when I said that I was like, I'm going to surprise you?
Yeah.
I did get you a birthday present.
Yay!
So I'm going to let you know right now it's not a Lady Gaga ticket.
Thank you.
Okay, sounds good. Because you're like, I don't want to have to pay for all that.
No.
I thought about what would you want, and I will say...
I'm looking at Gabe.
He don't know either.
He doesn't?
I will say, if you don't want this, you can tell me.
Okay.
But I was like, what's something she's wanted for a while, and I want to get it for her. Held by hand. We're going to do a serious moment. No, the hand. I love you.
I love you too.
And I'm happier in my life.
Me too.
And I hope you like this present, if you want it.
Okay.
So we're going to play a little game. Hit it, Gabe.
Gabe, what is happening?
Okay, let's play What is Raven's Birthday Present?
This is insane.
This is the girl with the 1,000 facial expressions.
Oh my God.
She deserves the world, so we are going to give it to her. That one specifically. So we're going to do a guessing game. There's 3 clues, and if you can guess it before, then great. Okay, so we're going to start with what is Raven's birthday present. Clue 1.
It's going to be in October.
It's going to be in October. You love October. You love a fall
October.
moment.
Yes, you know me so well.
I do. So it would not come for a while.
October.
I also kind of got to save the money, but
Okay.
you got to see.
Okay.
So again, it's not a Lady Gaga ticket because I'm going in August. Yes. Don't you speed me along. This is your gift.
Oh, sorry.
Do you have any guesses as of clue 1?
I feel like it's not going to be in Nashville.
Okay. You ready for the next clue?
Yeah.
Okay. Clue 2.
Oh. Was that a city?
Specifically, maybe this right here.
Capital?
I don't know.
What's the capital of Tennessee?
Nashville.
Oh!
And we're out here trying to give political advice. What is all encompassing right here?
It's like a town.
Yeah, like a town. In October.
In October.
I don't know. Are you ready to guess?
No.
Okay, we'll do one more.
Shut up. Shut up. Wilmington.
What do you see here?
No,
What's
these are all the shows.
For the people listening?
These are all the shows that are filmed in Wilmington.
So one more. Do you have any final guesses?
Are we going to Wilmington?
If you want this gift,
What?
I will take you and pay for a October 9th through 13th trip to Wilmington, North Carolina! Your own room.
Oh my God!
October before it gets too cold. No. You've always wanted to do this. So I booked you a room at the Hilton. Well, the DoubleTree. Oh, I'm going to give her a minute. You had to shout. They're opening a DoubleTree in April, so it'll be kind of new. It's the Hilton. But I got you a room all to yourself. And then, Gabe, if you want to go, I got us a double room because I'm not made of money.
Oh, are you serious?
And then I thought it would be fun to maybe film our experience.
Yes.
And then, but I know you talked to your friends about this too. And if your friends want to come, we can invite them. I'm not paying for them. But I'll pay for you.
This is like the best gift.
So Wilmington, North Carolina.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I love it.
No, seriously. Okay, first of all, I'm a One Tree Hill girly till the end of time.
Apparently, this summer I turned pretty girly.
Also, the summer I turned pretty. I have always wanted to go to Wilmington. I listen to the Drama Queens podcast, and they always say go to this place, go do this, go do that. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So if you accept, you can start planning and just know that the hotel is booked. We're going to Rewind is going to Wilmington.
If you live near Wilmington,
come hang.
Come hang
and show us the spots. Because I will say, selfishly, I know it's your birthday trip. I want to do the movie tour.
100%.
And I maybe want to see some of these lakes. Maybe between now and then I'll watch One Tree Hill. I've never seen it.
We should see if there's when's the next One Tree Hill Friends with Benefits. That's what they call it. That's what they call it.
Oh, okay. I was like, I
they
don't want to have
just
sex
had
with you.
one in Wilmington where
work.
the cast will come.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
That would be cool if it was right then. That would be some impeccable timing.
That would be
I'll
some
tell you right
impeccable
now.
timing.
Awesome.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Happy birthday. I love you.
I love you.
Yes. And with all that being said, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Rewind the Podcast. If you want to listen to other episodes of Rewind the Podcast, you can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you like podcasts. We're not here to tell you what you like because you're a grown adult. But hey, guess what? If you want to watch the podcast and see our beautiful faces, you can go online to youtube.com. I lost my train of thought. You can go online to youtube.com. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and sign up for alerts because we've got some content rolling out, aka Wilmington in October, I guess. And that's all I have to say on YouTube, Raven.
Hi, my name's Raven. I'm going to Wilmington for my birthday with my friends. Like Blake said, if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave us 5 stars and a review. You can find me at all social media platforms at I am Raven Dawson.
And I am Chronically Online. You can find me anywhere there's a social media site at Blake Rackley. And guess what? If you are coming to Nashville, Gabe.
If you're coming to Nashville for a birthday party, bachelorette party, go to heybatchnash.com. Use code REWIND for 10% off your next party.
And with all that being said, we'll see you
next week.
See ya.
Toodles.
I almost started singing the Gilmore Girls song, but that's not in Wilmington.
No, I'm so surprised.
Thanks for listening to Rewind the Podcast.
Rewind the Podcast is a Laurel Street production hosted by Raven Dawson and Blake Rackley.
Rewind the Podcast is recorded in Nashville, Tennessee, and produced by Gabe Bryant.
Our theme song is Famous Nobodies, performed by Rackley.
Written by Blake Rackley and Matt Pingle, and produced by David Spencer.
To contact Rewind the Podcast about sponsorship, business inquiries, or just to say hey, please email at thatrewindpodcast@gmail.com.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.